Yeah, good evening, and I hope you're all doing well. So, recently we've been in Japan, moved to the kitchen, and then F1 race. And today we are taking lessons from the emergency unit. Yeah, so triage. When it comes to triage, it's just what's the meaning of triage? Let me Google that. Yeah, assessment in order to determine what is urgent in treating illness. So that is what triage um, is. So if that means triaging, then it means that how come it looks like I'm a little confused about the message I just received? Sorry. Yeah. So when it's gets to the medical side or the health side, triaging just means that assessing a particular case and to know what to treat first and what not to give priority to. The same thing also applies to the tech space or when you are learning life skill development, personal development, and the likes. Similar things also applies there. Now, when you look at the past, it's clear that you have to pick models, mindsets, and practices from other field and apply in tech because tech has never been in isolation and skill development also has never been in isolation. So this is just the goal. So today we are looking at what happens in the emergency world and then how we can copy some lessons from those sites and then apply it to our personal lives. So in software development, code triage is the process where you assess, sort, and then give priority to bugs, crashes, and then messy codes, just like how doctors do or nurses also do um, in the world. Why this matters? You can't fix everything at once. Yeah, when your system is crashing, if you have to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you can't learn all these three at once, or even if you have to learn graphic designing or you have to learn just Photoshop, you can't learn the entire Photoshop at once, but you will have to know what to give priority to. So most of you have to ask yourself, what is breaking, what is causing the break, what is causing the business loss, what is causing the pain point, what's ugly but not urgent. That question is very important. There are certain things that are ugly but they are not important. You don't need to give priority to them. Yeah. um um what else, what else? Yeah, what is the root cause? And some of the things too, they don't deserve a patch. Some of the things you just need to rewrite them. So is it worth for you to rewrite or for you to patch up? Yeah, these are some basic questions that you have to ask. The questions are not written in stones, but if you get the concept, then you tailor questions that can help you to answer them. So most often when a system is crashing, these are some of the basic questions that I ask myself. Sometimes you have to look at it. Is this affecting business? If it's not affecting business and it's working, nobody cares. Yeah, you focus on something else. Sometimes it's not affecting business value, but your users are having terrible experiences. You don't want them to be leaving your platform. So how this relates to scaling up, you have to learn faster. Now, you don't learn everything. You don't learn everything at once. So you how you can learn faster is focus on what is most important. Example, if you are an AI engineer and you need to know about UI UX or user interface, I think your interest should rather focus on if you have to learn the two at the same time, You have to give more priority to the AI engineering and focus less on the user interface, because that is not something that is within your domain or you have to give priority to. But this is case dependent. Now, it also helps in when you're diagnosing issues and then giving priority to things that as I've mentioned too. Yeah, triaging isn't fixing, it is knowing what needs to be fixed first. That's one of the things I want us to take note of. Yeah, it's not triaging is not fixing, it is knowing what to be fixed first. Now, it also helps you as a developer, an engineer, or someone who wants to scale up to know the kind of decisions you need to take under pressure. Example, when you I am a strong advocate for hackathons, not for you to win, but it helps you to work with a team and understand each other under pressure. So sometimes you just look at the face of your teammate and you know what he's saying, because you've been through pressure together. Yeah, so when it comes to decision taking under pressure, triaging also helps you to prioritize high impact decisions. Now, focus on what matters. That is the basic concepts behind triaging. And um, just a minute, yeah. So focusing on what matters. Okay. There's another thing I also want us to look at. That is the golden rule. It's more like a 60 minutes golden rule. Depending on how you call it, I think it's not a standard name for it. But the reason I call it a golden rule, especially when I'm teaching people, is that whenever you are done reading something, whenever you are done watching a video, whenever you are done learning, before you click the done button, make sure you practice. That is what solidifies what you have learned. So do it immediately. And per what I have seen, those who practice, though this is by observational data, those who practice learn 2 to 3 times faster than those who don't practice. And there are outliers. There are people who will just read without practicing and will still get it. But for the average person, when you read, you watch a video, you hear something, practice it consistently. That is what makes you better. The next thing we want to talk about in the emergency word is Handoff. So yeah, I think the triage nurses use it a lot. The next thing we want to talk about is Handoff. Handoff just like how nurses communicate, because they run a shift. So when one nurse is handing over a patient to another, or when that transition, what they do is that they communicate, and the communication must be concise, but every major detail should be given out in that communication. When it comes to scaling up or you working with a team, this thing is also very important. What do you do? Status. What are you working on? So, example, you are working as a UI UX guy, then now you have to move from UI UX to front end. You have to hand over things to another person. Even though a lot of things are being documented, you were writing documentation for project status and doing all those things, practicing project management very well. Trust me, boys don't read. When I say boys, I'm not gender biased, but I'm just trying to say like people don't read, not blacks, not whites. Yeah, people like we don't read. Yeah, so it's so basic that you can just give a project status to the person. That is sorry, hand off to the person. And then this is the status. What is working? What is broken? Then the action taken. What fix have you already done? What haven't you done? What are you currently working on? That is the next step. Then the risks and then the warning. Just give these things to the person and you are good to go, because trust me, the people will not read those documents. Yeah, because the guy reports to work the first day and he's expected to build an entire model. How do you expect him to go through your code base? HRs will not understand that, yeah, the guy needs to go through the code base, check the architecture and do a lot of things. He comes to work first day and they've given him something that demands 12 hours for him to do. He cannot go and read those documents. So you, as someone handing over to him, just be a good guy, yeah, the extra old guy, to give him the status of the project, the next action to take, actions that you've already taken, the risks, and then the warning. So these are the things I want to share with you today. The most important for me today is triage. You can't learn everything at the same time and you can't do everything at the same time, but prioritize what to do. Okay, because when you look at it, yeah, I want to learn CSS, I want to learn C+, I want to learn JavaScript, I want to learn this. Which of this is very important to you? And sometimes when you do this triaging very well, you realize actually what you have to learn is not even a programming language. You have to do something else. So ask yourself the right questions, diagnose it. Okay, diagnosis. Sometimes the doctor doesn't give you a cure to your problem. He only asks you the right questions, not the, I don't want to say medical doctors, the psychology, psychiatric, one of them. They just ask you the right questions. They don't give you answers. You have the answers. So just try to ask yourself the right questions and you'll be good. Thank you all for making it to day 48. Tomorrow is 49 and the next day is day 50. Congratulations in advance. Thank you. See you later. Bye. Yeah, and one reason I had to Google the meaning of triage is that um, learn how to Google. That's one of, like, learn how to search for things. You are not a master of everything, and you are not expected to be, even though in the theoretical world, you are expected to know everything, but in reality, no. So just ChatGPT, Google Copilot, Google Gemini Copilot, search. Okay, just search. Yeah. Thank you very much. Bye.